Good evening, everybody. Welcome
Hello.
to this week's show. Where are they now? To those who follow us, you know what this show is all about. We celebrate the lives of legendary South African artists and music business people, local and international, who have contributed to the beautiful mosaic that has built the backbone of the South African music history. So here they share their stories, they share their journeys, they share their amazing experiences with us. And we are very lucky to be witnesses to these lives so well lived. Tonight's guest, he's a gentleman who's probably still been playing with the longest running show band in South Africa, I would think. Still here, still looking good. They made their mark in the late 70s and 80s, had #1 hits all over the place, and are still active on the music scene today. That's like spanning quite a few years, and that shows tenacity. Longevity has got a lot that comes with it. But I'm so excited to have my friend, the lovely Fergie Ferguson from Ballyhoo here. Hello, welcome.
Hi, Cindy. How are you? How are you, love?
I'm good. I'm very well, thank you. So happy to have you. The last time I was meant to interview you, I had COVID.
I remember that. I know.
I'm so sorry I missed my interview with you, but then I made it extra special for today.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. That's great to be on, Cindy. How are you keeping? Is the COVID all better for you?
Yes, my COVID is all better. I was very lucky.
Can you have a job now, or what?
Yes, I'm actually going for a jab on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. People say that you get a bit like sick afterwards, the jab. Sometimes you don't feel a bit great, but you know what? I'm so sick of being sick, and I'm so used to it that I don't care anymore. Get to the point it's like, so another thing happens at this age, another thing. Oh well, just deal with it. It's just part and parcel of growing into a human being.
I know, it's crazy, man, but it is, we've all been down some sort of a road where we've had hiccups. This is a big one, obviously.
I think this is the biggest hiccup, especially musicians and entertainment people. I think this is the biggest one we've ever had to fall down. Yeah.
I hope that's tea.
But we're here. We made
I
it.
I hope that's tea.
It's always tea, darling, with a dash of tea.
G&T.
T&T.
Yeah.
Not G&T. Firstly, I want to talk about you a bit. Obviously, you were born in Ireland.
That's correct.
Started your music career there. What was it like in Ireland in those days? I'm sure there was so much diversity and a bit of danger as well. I mean, it must have been quite an interesting place to start. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, look, funny enough, we were sitting the other day, the band, Derek and myself especially, who's also from Belfast, and we were just talking about those times. And the Ireland scene then was great. You played loads of gigs all over the country, but then we had what they call the Troubles. That's when the whole thing, they made
the IRA and stuff like that. Because that changed the whole fabric of life in there, because nobody knew if a place was going to be hit or not. Nobody knew if you could be safe going anywhere.
No, look, it was very scary, because what happened was when this was going on, there was a famous show band called the Miami Show Band.
Yes.
And they were a Dublin band, and they used to play a lot in Northern Ireland as well, like we did. And they were coming over the border, and they got stopped by paramilitaries. And it turned out that these guys weren't soldiers; they were posing as soldiers. And they got them out, and the bus blew up, and then they shot a couple of guys. And it was crazy. I mean, I remember we'd done a gig once. Like here, you have the guest band that comes on before you,
sure,
and then you're on afterwards. So there was a guest band on, and when I come back, they blew my bass amplifier. So there was a club across the street, and I went there, and they finished at 11 o'clock. So I said, can I borrow your bass amp? And the guy says, no, cool. He said, if you just give me a lift home afterwards. So I said, okay. So it was just myself and Tony, the two guys in the band, were driving the bus. So we're going up this road, and you got a place called Ardoyne, which was very IRA country. So we're pulling up behind this, and there was soldiers in the back of this Saracen, and they were getting nervous because we were behind them. So as we passed them, they pulled us over, got us up against the wall, and then this sniper decided to shoot at the soldiers while we were up against the wall.
Oh my God.
So it was crazy. So yeah, so we said to our management team, we need to get out of, so we started doing gigs in England, Scotland.
Yes.
And it was in England. We were playing a big club there called the Top Hat Spennymoor, with the Supremes and all the big acts played there.
Yeah.
And a guy came in one night and said, look, I want to book you for South Africa. And he said, yeah, of course you do. You get that every night. I want to. I'll book you in Miami. So we didn't really believe him. But the funny thing was, we were booked to do some shows in Germany. That was on the cards. And we said, well, look, it's a bit warmer in South Africa. Let's go there.
That's just how you chose it. Eh? That was the choice. That's how we made our choice. Are you happy you did that?
I am. No, I love it here. I love it here,
Yeah,
I mean, we could talk all night about bad things, but that's not what we're
Yes,
going
of
to talk
course.
about.
No. I mean, we might mention them. It's always good to mention a bad thing here and there. The bottom line is, Fergie, you started playing music early. When you think about it, how close were bands like the Beatles and the Stones and those early bands? I mean, everybody wanted to emulate that style. I'm talking about the English bands, the Irish bands, the Scottish bands. If everybody was going to play, they all wanted to be something like what was happening in those years. So how did you start playing music? Were you in school? Were you just with a couple of guys down the street? How did it start?
It was weird, actually, because I was always listening to music from small, because my mother sang, So she used to put me on a stool, and I used to try and do harmonies with her, I was always interested in how that worked. And that progressed. And then what happened, I kept asking my parents for a guitar, and they didn't buy me one. And then one day I was walking on this big high wall. I think I was 11 years of age, and I sort of stumbled, so I jumped off, but it was high and I hurt my back. So those days, they didn't, when you tell them you hurt your back, they just...
whatever.
No, they put me in this flipping hospital. They strapped me down so I couldn't move. And my parents felt so sorry for me, they bought me a guitar.
Good move there, Fergie.
Yeah, so
hurt my back, buy me a guitar.
That was it. It was actually an orthopedic hospital, believe it or not, which was quite crazy, But yeah, that's how it was in those days,
Yeah. Well, just so you know, there are a whole bunch of people listening to us right now. They're online with us. They send us a little message over there. Look, can you see on your front? You see? That's what they do. They say
Sherry
hi.
Kisses? Okay.
Sherry is my PR. She does all my social media. She's very good at that. If you're ever interested in somebody like that. Monica van Wyk. Oh man, Louis' lovely wife. Hello, Monica. She can't see anything. That's crazy. I'm so sorry. Terry Barker. Terry from Plum Crazy takes us back. Craig James. All the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Hello, me, Craig. Hello, my darling. We love seeing you. And Marion Wittek. Marion's from Germany. She runs my fan club there, but she's always saying hi. Always pays attention to all my shows. Mark Kirby. Mark loves you. Yeah. Good evening to the darlings. Pino Pisanello. Sorry, Pino. My night has gone long. He's from Cape Town. He always comes to it, Ballyhoo, whenever you guys are there. And Anthony, hi, darling. Anthony works with Robin Auld. They run Robin Auld's publishing company. But Anthony gets to live in Mallorca and run that you
I
know.
used to go. I used to go there every year on
Of
holidays
course.
when I was
So did
younger.
I. When I was
Lovely
much
place.
younger. When we were in Clout, we went to Mallorca. It was very nice. Naked on the
Yeah.
beach, darling. Lovely.
No, that was after me. We weren't allowed to do that those days. They
Not
didn't.
in those days.
No,
That's
not.
okay.
Yeah.
Aniki, hello, darling. Dave Evans, Fergie, who was the drummer in your club in Pretoria, had a small fridge beside him that he filled with beer. Who was that?
Okay, and Victoria.
Uh,
That would have been. That would have been
Shane.
Shane, I think.
Shane, he was crazy.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you start the music. You've told me that somebody came and spoke to you about coming to South Africa. Who went to South Africa?
What do you mean? Who's on the
Who?
band?
Who
Yeah, it was.
you were
Yeah, it was an Irish band. We were
okay.
actually we were a 7-piece in Ireland, and the one guy went to Australia, and we came to South Africa as a 6-piece.
Okay.
We were under contract at the Goodison Group hotels in Durban, and it was
Goodison.
magic.
Yeah, I remember.
That was great. And then what happened is we got a gig in Joburg, and then the band sort of split in two. Derek and myself, Paul and Tony, they formed the Blarney Brothers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Never knew that.
Did you know that? Okay.
No, did not know.
Yeah,
Hey, guys, did you hear that? That was very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was myself, Derek, Ati, a guy called Paul de Villiers. Paul went on
Oh my gosh. Paul,
Paul,
fabulous songwriter, fantastic guy.
no, he wrote that. Well, no, he produced that Mr. Mister. They're big hits in America.
Sure. Paul
So
de
he
Villiers.
he's
Done very well.
Yeah, so that was the band. Look, it's a few members have changed through the years.
Of course. But most of them have sort of come back. I call it the ever-revolving band because you guys do this, do that. Was Shane with you from Ireland?
No, he was when we came out. We went to Cape Town.
Okay.
And Shane started to him. He was actually Australian. He passed away a couple of years ago.
I know that. I heard about that.
Yes, yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I toured with your band,
I remember I remember Clout when you
Yes.
started out.
we just started out.
You
Very
just
much
started out, and I remember where it was. It was in Veronican Hall, and you guys opened for us. Do you remember that?
Of course, I remember. I used to stare at you guys in awe because you were so professional and we were still so clunky. You know, we just hadn't crossed over to being good yet. We could all play, but not together. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big problem, man.
It was a big problem. But it wasn't terrible, but nobody cared because it was 5 girls and there were some hotties in the band. So there was, as long as there were 5 girls, everybody was like, hey man, who cares if they can't play? But we did grow into something, but it was just a very special memory for me. I remember standing and having photos done with Ati by the keyboards and you, and I think, was Ralph in the band at the time?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. And Mick Matthews.
No.
No. Okay.
No, Mick had already, Mick.
But Shane was the drummer. You were playing bass. Who was playing guitar? It was Ralph playing guitar and Derek. And Ati.
And Ati, yeah.
And it was fantastic to see that. I mean, for me, as I said, you were such a professional band. You were so slick and yet still had fun and I learned something from that. You know, you'll be surprised how many lives you touch when you think, oh, I'm just a musician. What can I do? How much change can I make in the world? And we actually do. We make a lot of change in the world without even realizing it. Yeah. Anyway, those early years.
But coming back to what you were saying,
yes,
you know, you can see it in the people who have had the longevity, like yourself.
Yes.
You know,
oh yeah, sure.
One of the main goals, if you go on that stage, is to try and entertain. You know.
That's
And
the biggest
that
goal.
that is the biggest goal. Yeah,
That's the thing. If I, often I go and I see new kids on the block, kids that haven't, sorry, I just got to tie my bandanas flying all over the place. Yeah, they haven't had the experience, and they might end up being a good musician, and they might
Mhm.
end up fantastic and fabulous. Anybody could. But there's a difference between playing for the crowd and playing for yourself,
Yeah.
right? And when you get up on that stage, Fergie, from the minute you get up there, you are with your band and you're with the crowd completely.
Yeah, look, that is why people like the Rolling Stones, Queen, all those acts survived,
Of
apart from
course.
sadly Freddie dying. But that's why they've survived, and those sort of artists, the George Michael. I mean,
Yes.
they're the sort of artists and the people that everybody should be looking at. What do they do? Because that's what's kept the crowds coming back. You know,
That's what kept the crowds. That's what kept them having hit records. That's what kept the longevity. That
for
you could
sure.
go and an Elton John, you will go and see
Yeah,
Elton John
for sure.
because all the hats and the madness have stopped now, which is great. He's just the man in the chair. And he's evolved as well in front of our eyes. Isn't that lovely? So I look at you guys. I think you guys have always been pretty steady. You've always looked good. You've always had a nice image, clean cut, not sort of too wacky or anything that people can't relate to. And I think that that's also stands today.
Yeah, look at yeah, look. I think that was instilled. In Ireland when we started out, we had what they call the Irish show bands, and that was a big thing in Ireland. And there were big bands, 6, 7 piece bands. And when you join one of those bands, you're taught from a very early age, is right.
Yes.
You face the front, you don't turn your back on the audience.
Yes.
You face, and if you don't find anybody to smile to,
Yeah.
then just find somebody and start
Yeah.
smiling. You
That's it.
I'm not saying everybody needs to do that, but I'm just saying
It works every time. It
it
works.
works. It works, and that is a starting point before the music. So that school was drilled into us very early on. So I think that's
Sure.
what carried us through. We still have that attitude.
And it works. It's a beautiful
Yes.
attitude. Um, when what was the journey from those early years when you came here on the road playing residencies and stuff? That was kind of like the real start of it for most
Mm.
bands in South Africa. I want to hear a little bit about it, and then I want to play the song that is very, very much, it's just linked to you guys. I mean, anytime people hear that song, everybody goes, we know what this is, and immediately it becomes a dance party song. So just tell me a little bit that those residency days, playing 6 months in a club or doing a show in a club, it was so different to what we do now. Hey,
Yeah. Look, I think a lot of people, talked about that. I was reading, funny enough, just to go to your point. Elton John was saying about how the Beatles and people like that, they went to like Hamburg, or they went to people and they learned to get tight
tight.
and learn how tight and play well together and know it. That's what residencies did help in a lot of ways.
Well, that was the
It was,
thing. Residencies definitely gave you your gonads. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because you
yeah.
had to play 6, 7 nights a week, or 6 nights and a Saturday afternoon. You played yourself till you were raw, but
Listen,
you got good, man.
you know what? When we came here, those days we were playing like 5 nights a week in Ireland, but we were traveling to like Dublin, to Cork, setting up the gear, taking it down, traveling.
Yes,
When we came, we were booked Monday to Friday, 8 to 12, right?
yes,
And
in the
then,
same place.
8 to 12 and 5 to 7 cocktail hours every day. And
Yes,
8 to 12. Then
yes,
Saturday, you done 12 to 2,
yes.
5 to 7, and 8 to 12. And you know what? We actually thought it was great because we didn't have to carry our gear around
Carry
all the
the
time.
gear.
You
Everything
could,
is in one place. Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
it didn't bother us at all, you know. We really, we, I mean, obviously after a few months you get bored and sick of it, the same place.
Sure.
But,
But
you know,
but we used to
but
change our songs a lot. I mean, we used to have 2 rehearsals a
that's,
week, 2 new songs a week every time because it stopped you from getting bored.
we played, we rehearsed 5 days a week.
Yeah, we used to also every single
5 days a
day
week.
we used to
And
go
that's
to
the way,
rehearsal.
yeah.
But that was it. We were masters of our craft. You see, this
Okay.
was our job, and we made sure we did it properly. You
No, for
know,
sure. No, look, I think it's harder now. Um, the way the whole scene has changed, you know,
of
it
course,
has
it's a
changed
different landscape. But
totally,
and I
totally.
want to talk a little bit about that because it affects everybody and people out there. We've still got lovely comments coming in. Fergie, what a star, from Ian Roy Simpson. Dave Evans is happy to hear that he now knows who the drummer was who had the fridge on stage. Desi Ray, the lovely Desi Ray,
Oh
sitting.
man,
Hello, Desi, sweetheart. Remembering you and I singing together on Portrait of Desi Ray. Wow.
I I remember that, but I've asked Desi quite a while ago if she's got the video or the footage of that, you know, because it was on the TV. That what happened was they said they want somebody who was a little bit smaller because Desi's quite a
She's
petite
tiny.
lady. She's a
Yes.
petite lady, and they didn't want this big. And those days I was quite thin, you know, and small, which I
You're
am.
still thin
And
and small.
well,
Come on, come
okay.
on, come on.
Anyway, so yeah, so they got me to do it, and it was a different thing for me, you know,
I love it. See,
to
this
do
is what
that.
I love about the show as well. There's that people come, they talk about their memories, and it flicks off stuff for us. It's like, oh my God, Daisy, blah, blah. And
Mm.
technology, I love it. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go on about this, but here we are. I'm sitting in Norwood, Johannesburg. I don't know where you are, Fergie. She's in Hermanus. All these people, somebody's in Mallorca, somebody's in Germany, and we're all able to see each other and talk to each other. Woo! Technology rocks. Ah, I love it.
I actually don't know where I am.
Don't worry, I bet your wife does. Adeline,
I'll
where's your
go and
husband?
I'll go and ask her where I am.
Please ask her to come and say hello as well. I haven't seen her for ages. So I would love to play that song that we don't have, in those days there weren't a lot of video footage, unfortunately. But that
No.
song, let's just play the track. Such a fun track. I'm going to be dancing, I'm afraid. Woo! RPM.
Oh, rock and roll party.
We're having a party.
Hey, come on everybody, tell you where we're going. We're going to rock and roll party. If you wanna come along, you're invited. Don't be late 'cause it's already started. Rock and roll. I'm gonna roll.
I got to tell you about that song.
Please do.
I tell you, we were actually in the Rotunda Hotel in Cape Town, and we used to rehearse there just about all the time, every day. And we got about 5 songs that we thought, but now being like the band was those days, we were very into like harmony stuff, which we've always
Yes.
been.
Yes.
But Genesis, yes, quite musical stuff. And Mick brought the song, and we put that down, and we all thought that was a weak one. We
Funny,
thought,
eh?
no, that's a bit throwaway. That's what we
Yeah.
thought. It's
Yeah.
how you learn in this business. And we played it to a guy who was head of those days. I think it was, that's not 5, it was Radio 5, not 5FM. And he picked that one. Yeah,
Huh.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
No, you don't know.
The thing is about the musicians are we are so invested in how it sounds and feels to us. And somebody else who's listening, a record company guy or A&R guy or a radio station, they listen to it on a different level.
They see the big picture. When you're too close to your song,
Yeah. They think radio. We think, oh, this
no,
is our song and we wrote it and we love it so much. And they think, like, don't give a shit about your song. I just want it to rock and I just want
that's
it
it.
to happen. And
I
then
know.
they pick a song, you know? I mean, when I first heard Substitute, Graham Beggs played it for me. It was the Righteous Brothers version. And he played me the song and I'm like, seriously? You want us to record this song? It was
Really?
like some soul jive thing, like, girl, you've been waiting much too long now. And I'm like, I don't sing like that. And of
Yeah.
course, he went and redid the whole thing and the whole vibe and the whole spiel. And suddenly, gadunk, what happens? The song becomes a monster. But we
Massive.
don't know about
Massive.
that at the time. Wow, Tina Snell
That,
just came on saying he used the song in one of our motocross videos. And he sent a little video here, so you can find it later. That's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, we like hearing things like that. You see those kind of things that happen. What I have to ask you, you guys have always been so loyal to each other. It's basically been the same musicians over the years, changing here and there, and creating the real Ballyhoo sound at all times. So you know you sort of come around and around and around again, but it seems like that Ballyhoo thing, the sound of Ballyhoo, is always distinctive.
yeah, I guess, I mean, I think the distinction comes in a lot of the singing. I think that's what
Yes,
probably it
yes,
comes from.
yes.
So I mean, people identify with that, I suppose. The sound, but we've done very different type stuff. I mean, in the man,
I know.
like the Man in the Moon album, was such a cross section of music, really, but it was all Ballyhoo, but it was
Yes.
a cross section of music. So I think the sound has always been there, how we put it across
How
and
you
whatever.
put it across. It's a
But
it's a definitive sound, Fergie. It's not like,
okay,
there's the Ballyhoo song again. Not at all like that, no. It's really in, I promise. It's definitely in your harmonies, your vocal sound, and it's Ballyhoo. I mean, when you play a song on the radio and I'll say, hey, that's Ballyhoo, I'd rather not say, Jesus, that's Judas Priest, and it's not, it's Ballyhoo. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, and they switched the radio off right away.
It's like, oh God, Judas Priest.
Ballyhoo,
Oh,
fuck it up.
it's Belly. Ballyhoo, fucking hell. I love it. 5 albums later, wow. I want to mention them. Ballyhoo, Standing Room Only, Man on the Moon, Ballyhoo 2, and Alive. Is that your five albums?
Actually, no. We've done a couple of other ones. But
Ah,
yeah, but what we've been doing in recent years, we haven't been going to the record companies, you know. We've been doing sort of indie, we've been doing it ourselves
yes.
and do, selling the shows and that.
Yes.
It's yeah, look, it's not that we shied away from it. It's just it's harder. Look, the entertainment industry's always been like this. They're always looking for new talent,
Sure. Of course.
and that's good. That's great. That's the way it should be.
Yes.
But as I say, there's the inclined to say, "Oh, those guys that have been around." So we just took the reins ourselves and just do it ourselves,
And I totally agree with that. I think that is, most of us have done that, especially the older artists,
Yeah.
because, because as you say, we want to represent ourselves still fresh, still sounding good. My new single's very different to my other stuff. Good. I think that's what we are. We have to grow. I don't want it to just sound, as I said earlier, oh, ballyhoo. You grow all the time. Everything you put out is the next step in your career, in your journey, in your experiences. You've got a new single out now.
Yeah, no, we were doing this song for many years on stage, but different than this, and just I had an idea for it, and I'd done something in my studio here, but it was very let's just me vibe,
Okay.
keyboards and a bit wishy-washy, quite honestly.
A lot of bass
So-
guitar,
No,
a lot of
actually,
singing. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
it
if it was
was.
just me, oh,
It
look,
was, it was-
hey, it's a bass solo every 5 minutes. No, I'm kidding.
I always loved the song, I always
Yeah.
loved the song. So when Ralph come back into the fold, because Ralph was with us in the Man the Moon, not all that era.
Yes.
Ralph come back into the fold because you obviously know about Ashley, who was playing guitar for us for many years.
Of course.
Ashley was quite ill. So when Ralph came back in, I said, look, here's an idea for a song. And Ralph took it and we come up with this sort of vibe, And the whole thing was, as you'll hear, is lots of harmonies.
But
Lots of-
that's one of your signatures. I mean,
So
I can't
yeah.
go to a ballyhoo show and not expect good harmonies, and that's also something that's sadly lacking. That nowadays there's not many harmonies in songs. It's not considered cool or hip.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look at the Eagles. I mean, they're probably one of the biggest bands
Absolutely.
around today still,
But
and
they
that's what
still
they are.
don't have, but they don't have any new albums out. And if they did, the people would love them because we love the Eagles.
Yeah.
You
No,
know.
I know. No, look, I think with them it's just payback time, money wise. So, well, shame. Only on $1 million.
Shame.
Only $1
Very
million.
poor.
$1 million a show, not bad. I
$1
seen
million
it was-
a show.
Yeah, because
So?
go back to that. So go back to that. Yeah, look, we just try to put our stamp on it again,
I like
So,
it.
Yeah, so I hope.
So let's have a
yeah.
listen to it. I'm sure it's going to go. King Louis is doing your promotion for you.
Yeah,
Hello, King
Louis.
Louis. We love you. I'm going to have Louis on the show also. He's got some stories to tell. My gosh,
No, you don't want to hear those stories.
not all of them. Some
Not
of
all
them,
of them.
yes, but not all. But you know what? What the thing I love about this is everybody's their own character and they're their own little fish in the pond.
sure.
And we've all done crazy shit and we've all said things and I wish I could take that back or whatever it is. And it's only bloody rock and roll, and that's all there is to it.
No, for sure.
Rock and
And
roll
And I have to say, Sandy, I take my hat off to you, big time.
to me.
Because big time, really, because I mean, I know you went to America and we didn't sort of hear about you, whatever. But I know you come back here. You were ill as well, I believe.
Yes,
And you come
yes.
back here, and look what you're doing, and you're doing wonderful, And we done that show, remember, for Magda's birthday. You
Yes.
guys were great. You're still singing, man. You're still singing. You're still
Oh.
nailing it, and that's great. I love to hear that.
You know, that means a lot to me coming from you. Thank you.
No, well, I mean
Thank
it. You
you.
know, I mean it.
I know you
You're
do.
always a good singer, but the fact that you're singing and doing it today, that's great, man. I love to hear that. I love
And
to
you
hear.
doing it too, darling, because why?
Ah,
We love it. This is still my passion. I choose this over everything. For
I
me,
know.
music has always been my, you know, that music is my first love and it will be my last. And that's the damn truth. And it
Yeah,
has taken so much from me
yeah,
as it does from all of us. It's a very hard taskmaster. I call it my demon lover.
yeah.
You know,
I
you
think I
give
think a
it,
lot of
give
people don't
it.
understand what the
No,
people
no.
don't is you're born with a talent and you can do it.
Mm,
Not everybody can decide one day,
mm,
um, I'm going to be a singer.
mm.
It doesn't work like that. But the lost it out is the hardest thing because it is not people see the glitzy side of it,
Of
but
course.
there's a very very hard reality to the whole side of music, and we do it because that's what we're good at.
That's
We're
it.
good at that. We're
And
good at
it
it.
is still our passion. I mean, when you look at
That's
the
it.
big guys, you know, I was talking about Elton John early on and Mariah Carey and those guys. They have people taking care of their every need every minute
No,
of every day. They don't have to worry about any of life's banalities, you know. They just, and I love it when they say, hey, we just, you know, we're so relaxed with our children. We take them to school, you know, in the limo that somebody's
yeah,
driving, and we give them lunch when we get home. Well, the maid already prepared everything, and all you do is put the
mm,
sandwich on the table. And I'm not being judgmental here. This is the truth. There are realities, and there are realities,
mm,
and I think people also don't realize that South African musicians have always had it hard, and
mm,
we have always excelled.
yeah.
Because you take a
No,
South African musician anywhere in the world and he can stand his own. When I was living in America, Fergie, I was expecting to be blown away by every muso that I met. And I found that I was not blown away by every musician that I met
no, no, not at all.
because not at all. And I also had to get guys in my band. I went through 13 drummers. 13 drummers. And you know what I also found is that South Africans are very versatile. You give a South African guy, you say, hey, can you play at Hotel California? Yes. Can you play Highway to Hell? Yes. Can you play a Michael Bublé song? Yes. You know, very versatile. In a lot of countries, the people are in their genre. Oh, I'm a jazz player. You know, I'm a rock player. I'm a world music player. But here, I found that the musicians can play anything.
Yeah, no, it's true. You're right. No, you're right. No, no, it's true.
It's a good thing. So I want to
Yeah,
listen to your new single. It's the first time it's being played. Am
you're
I
correct.
correct?
I think so.
Anywhere
Yeah.
in the world, we got the exclusive, and I'm so excited. Thank you for letting us play it. Ballyhoo's new single, people.
I can feel a new expression on my face. I can feel a warm sensation taking place. I can hear the guitars playing lovely tunes every time that you walk in the room. I close my eyes for a second and pretend it's me you want. Meanwhile, I try to act so nonchalant. I see a summer's night with the magic moon. Every time that you walk in the room, I can feel something pounding in my brain, baby. Every time that someone speaks your name. baby. Trumpet sound and I hear thunder boom. Every time that you walk in the room. Maybe it's a dream come true, like a dream, walking right alongside of you. Wish I could tell you how much I care, but I only have the nerve to stare. I can feel a new expression on my face. I can feel a warm sensation taking place. I can hear the guitars playing lovely tunes. Every time that you walk in the room. Think about you, baby. Oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. I can feel a new expression on my face.
Whoa! I freaking love it!
Oh,
Oh
thank you, Cindy.
my God! No, I totally love it. It's just a nice, like a light rock thing. Those voices, of course, you're just saying to me that I can still sing. Fergie, you can still, goddamn, sing. Brother, you still sing.
Thank you. Well, it's
And Derek, I know.
Derek is in there as well.
I
Yeah,
know
we're all there.
Derek's a great singer. Love Derek
Yeah,
forever.
big time.
Big
Big
time,
time.
but it's a good sound. It's a fantastic sound. Got Greg Georgiades saying, "Great guys, I remember." Greg, thanks for coming on, saying hi to us. And Trevor Romain. Trevor is an absolute icon. Truly, I mean, soundtrack to your coming of age, and now he draws our coming of age. He's just phenomenal and an incredible human being. Trevor, always lovely to see you here. And Elmarie Grant Swart. Hello. Thanks for coming. Nice. So you've gotten some good feedback from that song. That was Ballyhoo's brand new single, first time played. I'm so excited about that. I love it. It's got a good feel. All I wanted to do is dance in the room.
Cool. Cool.
I like it. And it's nice when you hear it like on another medium, when you've been listening to the studio, whatever it is, and hearing it on a medium, like here we are on a platform, a TV platform, we're listening to it, and it's just got a different feel. It's just like, wow, it sounds okay, man. I like it a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Cindy. Thank you.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Refreshing. Yeah. Dave Evans is refreshing.
Yeah.
Pop rock is still a genre. I don't
Yeah.
care what people say. It's a genre, and it's a strong genre. It's like country rock as well. I mean, Stuart and I were working, and Stuart happened to be sung with Ballyhoo at a point. Stuart Irving, great, amazing singer as well.
Yes, sir.
And we'd worked together on this country rock thing. And I think it's the blends. And I think what you've done here on the song, it's nice pop, accessible pop, but it's still got a little edge on it, and I like it a lot.
Oh, thank
And
you,
the
Cindy.
harmonies as well. The harmonies are, they sort of retro but clean. I like it. Yeah, like it a lot.
I look
Well
at
done.
a lot.
I like it a lot, boys.
I look at a lot.
Some of the guys that were in your band and have come back again, Ralph Martin,
Yeah, well,
you're working
Well,
with
Ralph-
Ralph again?
yeah. Ralph, good musician,
He's
fantastic guy as well.
brilliant. Ralph's
That's right.
just divine.
But he's got no hair now.
No hair. He's got a little bit
Unfortunately.
more than me. I've got half hair, and so they have got sages. Some people have got full hair, half hair, no hair.
More
You've
hair.
still got a lot of hair, more
Ah,
hair. You still got lots of hair. It's a good thing, Fergie.
yeah,
Let's talk about Ati van Wyk.
okay.
In the beginning, just in the beginning, when Ati was with you guys, didn't you guys write "Man in the Moon"?
Actually, it was Atty and Shane, the drummer.
Shane, Ati and Shane.
Yeah, I don't know words. But it always goes back to this here. People say about, I remember reading about the Queen thing. Somebody brings a song to the band, and the band, our flavor was on that, and the production from Emil Zogby at the time. The
Zogby, yes.
production was that, and like you were talking about your song, like Substitute.
Yes.
It's that producer seeing the big picture.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the magic of any good song. You can have a good song, but just seeing the magic of it, that's a hard thing, sometimes.
Yeah, indeed. So, but you guys brought magic to that. You definitely did. That song, obviously, it was like something like 19 weeks on the charts or something crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't poo-poo stuff like that. I mean, nowadays you're on the charts for 2 weeks and then you drop another single.
That's it.
And then you drop another single 2 weeks later. Hey, where's your new single? You've only been on the charts for a week. Come on.
That's it.
Where's the new music, man? So, if I may, and I do like to go there a little bit because everybody's got different opinions, and this is never about judgment. And I never sit here as an older musician saying, "Oh, the new music sucks," and look at this. However, I mean, last week we talked to Keith Hutchinson, and he was raving about the new toys you can play with, and that you can write an album in your house that'll go worldwide. Viral. So there's so much value to all of that stuff, and just music today. What do you see as the future of music, and does it even matter?
That's a hard one, I mean, I think it will go around in circles,
Yes.
And when I'm talking about circles, a full circle, like
Well, it's all about that.
yeah,
Everything goes in circles.
it goes around, comes back again, and somebody puts a slight different slant on it, and it moves, But there's so many genres now of music, that. But I'll be honest with you, my children keep. I've listened to that stuff, My son's a musician,
Yes, of
and
course.
I listen to the stuff that he's listened to, the new stuff, and
Yeah,
I love it, man. I mean, there's really such good music out there still.
there
Great.
is.
I know people will say, "Oh, I don't like that rap, I don't like this or whatever."
Yeah.
I mean,
It's part of the landscape, again, the word landscape, the part of the landscape of music, where it's going, where it's from. Everybody takes pieces from what worked for them.
yeah.
You
No,
know?
look, I think anybody, like and I know, you start off and you're listening to that artist, you want to be that artist, and that's the sort of music you're digging. And then what happens is you don't exactly sound like that artist, and you end up sort of doing your own thing.
Sure.
And you become
that artist.
Your
Your own
identity.
artist, yes.
Exactly, you become your own identity, and as well, I think that's also the music's like that as well at the moment. It changes, it changes. But I think really all has changed a lot. For really, it's just the production on the way people are producing and the
Yes.
sound they're using it.
Yes.
But the songs, when you break the songs away, those hit songs.
That's the thing. You see, it's got to be about the song. Me, I'm such an
Always.
advocate for songwriting. For me, it's always about the song. Strip all the things away, strip the the bells and whistles, and if it's a good song, it's a good song. It doesn't matter. What I'm finding is it's not a lot of memorable stuff nowadays. There's not a lot of stuff that comes at me and I go, oh my God, am I going to know this song forever? The song means the world to me. It's sort of like it comes in, I say,
Yeah.
oh wow, that's a nice song. And then I hear it again and it's like, I've already passed it.
Look, I think it's because there's a lot thrown at us now. You know, before
Yes.
we had radio and maybe the odd TV show where music was played. Now we've got access to MTV,
I
to
know.
all the
It's
streaming
overload.
services. It's overload. It's
It
on your
is
phone.
overload.
And I think that's what is part of the way where you're talking, what you're saying, like, because it's everything's just hitting you from all directions every day, you know.
There's a lot of choice. Like, I mean, even Julian that runs the show, the producer, he had that thing called New Music Mondays, and he put up these songs of young bands that I've obviously never heard of. And I was like, geez, this is amazing. Where'd you find this? And you could probably spend all day from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed listening to different stuff. Just go pick and choose from little bands, from
It's
little
crazy.
cover bands to solo artists, to a 3-year-old boy who can play Stravinsky. I mean, you know, it's just absolutely accessible. That's the word, I think. Everything's
Yeah.
accessible. I like it.
Yeah. No, look, as I say, if you go back to the 70s or 80s, or whatever, you know, you weren't. How many places could you hear? You heard the radio, or
Yes.
they had on any given TV channel, they had a
Yes.
couple of music shows,
Yes.
and that was it. Now, it's
Everywhere. It's on your phone. What are you doing? Oh, I'm watching Deezer. Excuse me? What is
You
that?
see-
Oh, it's a new
you
song.
this thing here
Yes.
is a killer.
It's the thing. It's
It's a killer.
absolutely the thing.
I'm going back. I'm going back to get the little Nokia.
That's
Serious?
the one I said.
No, no
I'm
WhatsApp.
telling.
No,
I gotcha. I went to get a new contract today because my contract was up and stuff, and I was like, and they say, here's the new phone, and I said, I don't
yeah.
want a new phone. Yeah, but it's the new one of yours. It's like, "Ugh." I'm like, don't give me a new phone. My phone is fine. I can answer it. I can send WhatsApp, and thank you very much. It's enough. And it's not because I'm older. It's not because I don't want to move with the times. It's just overload.
It is.
No wonder
That's
all the kids have got ADD. They've got like the whole time. They've got like Bruce Lee standing in front of them doing every move that he could possibly do. You know?
Do you find you get hooked up with a phone a lot?
No,
Looking at it.
I do not let myself.
Okay.
I use
That's
my
good.
phone to make calls when I really need to make a call. Otherwise, I send voice messages, which I love, because then you can still be personal. And I'll send WhatsApps. And I will check my email during the day. If I'm out and I know I just need to check it and make sure I'm not missing any gigs, or, oh, you were meant to send a photograph, blah, blah, blah. I use my phone as it's a work piece in a way. When people call me, I don't want to talk on the phone for five hours. I don't want to talk for 20 minutes. I want to say, hi, how's it? Are you okay? When can we make a plan to meet? When can we do this? Oh, I've got this to tell you. Send me an email.
Yeah. I've been caught up a little bit with it as well. That's why I was talking about getting a Nokia, because it's just honestly at the moment, you know, there's so much happening within the band and things and gigs
I'm
and this
sure.
and
I'm sure.
that,
And you're on the
social
phone
media,
all
this,
day.
that,
Yeah.
and it's like,
It takes up so much time.
no.
I would like one of those the first cell phones ever, that big thing that all the
That big thing.
construction workers used to use, that huge, what is it? I haven't even got anything that looks like that.
It's a
maybe
brick.
two
A brick.
two sweet potatoes, you know. I don't know what to use. Something huge, just a big thing. Because I've seen people walk in to a place with a thing this big and they're talking on it. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just like, what is that? But technology aside, technology's lovely. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Music that tells a great story, but we must tell it well. Storytelling is the thing. And that's why the songwriting to me is such a thing. Hello, Shelley. Shelley's just popped on. Shelley. Oh, Greg's reminding us of the Grand Wazoo in Pretoria.
Oh, God,
And then the Jolly Roger Holiday Inn. Woo!
oh yeah.
Oh, my Lord. We've all been around, baby. We've had some fun times under the stage, in the back rooms. Anyway, we won't discuss those.
Well, no. We're not going to
we
go
won't.
there.
We won't even speak about that. What if you look back now? Was there anything you would want to have done differently?
I have to be honest. Yes, there is some things I would have done differently. I mean, I'm not really going to go into it, but yes,
Okay.
there is. I mean, a lot of people say I wouldn't change anything in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about changing things in my life. It's just certain things I would have maybe. I might have done it differently. I might have
Better choices.
better choices, you know. But
Yeah.
you know what?
But
That's
it's
life. That's
life.
hard.
Life.
If you're always making the right choices, then you're not. You're going to learn too much.
I think life is just a big mishmash of screwing up, fixing up, and keeping moving.
I was going to say something. I was going to say something else, but I didn't.
It's true. It's all just, it's a big, they throw everything in a big pot and you get to choose in that pot. That's your pond. Go look around in that pond, pick out what you want from it. You can't go out of that pond. That's your pond, you know. And I don't know. We've been very lucky. Look at
I've been
us.
very lucky.
We're still
I'm-
working.
I know. I've been.
Playing music.
My son always tells me, "Dad, look at the Irish. You know?
Look at the Irish.
Look at
That's
the
for
Irish."
sure.
And I've been
So-
very lucky.
Yeah, you have, and you've had it good, and you've got a beautiful family, your wife and your two kids that I know about.
That I know about.
So some guy, I swear, he was such a funny guy. He was a little bit doff sometimes. Because this is what he said to me. Hey, Cindy, did you ever have children? Well, maybe none that you knew about. And I looked at him and thought, if I'd had a baby, I promise I would have known about it. And he said, immediately said to me, oh my God, that was the most stupid thing I've ever said in my life. That was quite funny. But yeah, marriage and kids, it puts a different slant on things to keep that solid while you're on the
Yeah.
road, you're working late nights. It takes a certain kind of person to understand a man in a band or a woman in a band.
Oh yeah, look for a woman, it is very important, you know, that she knows if you're popular, people want part. You know this, you know, people want party
I do.
all the time.
I
You know, so you come off stage, if you're talking to some people, you're talking maybe a couple of women, a couple of girls. You know, your partner needs to understand it. Look, and it's not easy. I'm not saying
No.
that's easy.
No, it's not
But
easy.
so it takes a special woman. I'm talking about a man situation here.
Yes, of
It takes a
course.
special woman, yeah, who can deal with that, you know.
Of course.
But it's not easy, you know.
It's not easy because it is all those things. I've had it many times. And have subsequently, I think the last one was my marriage, where it was very easy. He was in a band with me and he understood all the dynamics and everything. So that was probably the easiest one for me. But in the bigger picture, there were other things wrong that didn't work. But point being, it's been very difficult as a woman to find a man who really is okay with me hugging or kissing or hi, how you doing? And I'm actually not flirting with them. I'm not giving them my phone number. I'm not interested. But the boyfriend or whatever thinks you are. They think that that's part of it, you know. Oh, are you screwing that guy? And I'm like, wish I was, but I'm not.
No, look, it is. Look, I can imagine. I mean, we know what it's like. We've grew up with that as well. Luckily for me, I guess, is I only got married late in life, you know. So
Yes, that's good.
I got most of that behind me, you know. So you know,
That's a good thing to do. And I also say that to young artists. Don't get married at 23, 24. Don't do it. Oh, yeah, but we're having a baby. And I'm like, because I remember, I think it was even Stuart said this to me. One of the killers, it was one of a quote from somebody, the quickest death to a musician is a pram in the hallway. Something like that, you know,
yeah. No, look,
kind of thing. No, but it works, and it can work, and it can work. But a lot of people, they lose it because of that. I want to look at some photos quickly. We've just got a few photos to look at, and then we're going to wrap up our lovely. Look at you guys. Oh, so cute, man. Hey, who is this?
Am I on?
I know it's a man, but
Who
I
is
know Shane.
Yeah.
That's not you. Was it you?
On the
my
left.
God.
Yeah.
It's you. And
Yeah.
Auntie and Ralph and
Derek.
Derek. Awesome. That's a cool photo, hey? That's the old Ballyhoo from the first start of Ballyhoo here in South Africa, hey?
That was early days.
Yeah. What else do we have? Ah, on stage with the white clothes. You always wore the white clothes. That was very, very distinctive. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at
I
you.
think somebody sent this to Ralph, that one, yeah. I don't know where that fucking came from. This one. I don't know where that came from.
And this is one of the newer ones?
That was Ashley.
Fergie and Derek. And
No, that's
Ashley,
Ashley.
sorry. Yeah,
That's
I just saw
Ashley, yeah.
now. I didn't have my specs on. You know what? Even now, I mean, you guys are all such nice looking blokes. You know? You all look cool. You look funky.
Where'd you get those photographs from?
You!
Did I? Oh, my wife sent them to you. Oh, that's correct.
Somebody sent them to me.
No.
I only take what I can. Do you think you used all your talent to its best advantage?
Maybe not. I don't think. I think it'd be very few artists or any musician you go to and saying, "Do you think you've ever really used everything to 100%?" Because I don't think you ever get to 100%. You know what? You can be an experienced player.
Yes.
I remember reading once about, I think it was George Duke, a very famous jazz guy.
Yes. Yes.
And he said they had a show and he went down to this little pokey bar somewhere and had this little trio on. He said they were quite terrible. He said, but the one guy just done something and he said, well, how did he do that? You know, just one little thing.
Yes.
So the point I'm making is you're always learning. You know?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You never stop. So
Never
yeah.
stop.
Yeah. No.
But that's what I love about it, is that if you don't learn and you don't move on, you stay stuck in the middle with you, or stuck somewhere.
No,
you know what I'm
look,
saying?
No, you got to move forward all the time.
You've got to move forward in whatever you're doing, whatever genre of music you're playing, whatever you're doing. I mean, I've gone from pop to rock to country to folk to whatever it is. And it's not because I'm trying to find my way. It's just because I love all those ways, you know?
Yeah.
And that the fact that we can do that. I love it. don't have to
No.
genreize so much anymore. Like, oh, what genre is it, man? It's like, well, it's like a sort of a coffee punk. What does that mean? Coffee
Yeah.
punk.
Okay.
So,
We were
Please.
playing a gig. We were playing a gig one night, and this guy comes up to the side of the stage and he says to me, "Hey, dude, can you play some heavy metal?" And I said, and I just made a joke. I said, "The only heavy metal I like is 5 rand coins." And he told me to F off.
okay.
Okay, whatever you like. Yeah, look, you know, I also like that. Like you say, that's how I've played everything. I mean, from, like you say, folk, rock, even jazzy stuff,
Yeah.
everything. But it's great. It's great.
Yeah, I think, as you said, we're always learning. We never stop learning. So, what's next for you? Like, you're going to promote this new single?
Yeah, look, we're what we're doing is at the moment, you know, because we're sort of let off, and obviously with COVID, everybody's just a bit let off.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're getting our whole social media and our thing together, and the whole objective is to go out and play gigs, you know,
Yes.
and that's it. We've booked some, you know. It's a little bit hard going at the moment,
Yes.
because of the new restrictions, etc., etc. We've a few shows that we've had to move forward to see when this whole third wave or whatever ends, you know. But yeah, look, the whole idea is to get. We don't want to. We want to keep playing, you know. We just want to keep playing,
that's
playing
the
music
thing.
until we can't. If we can't do it anymore, we can't do it anymore. But at the
absolutely.
moment we can do it. We can't play. We can still do it. So,
Well, this, of course, the world order right now has changed everything for us. I'm also, you know, looking for different things to do. I want to also go on tour now. I need to do a little tour, but it's all going to be daytime, sort of 5 to 7 kind of thing, you know, because they want to start closing the bar at 8 so that they can clean everybody out by 9 and be home by 10 for the curfew. So one of the things about musicians, which I have to say, and I know you will elaborate a little bit, we are very, very, what's the word really? Flexible.
adaptable.
We have learnt adaptable.
That's the word.
Adaptable. I knew you'd find the word for me.
No, you have to. Well, Sadie, look, it's you can't. It's like, I remember you probably heard it. Lots of people have heard it. Like Richard Branson said, if somebody asked, "Can he do that?" He said, "Yes, I can." And then he'll find somebody who can do it. Just to take that sort of angle is in our business. If somebody says, "Look, can you do a laid back, slow, romantic set?" You don't say, "No, I don't play that shit, man."
No, of course.
Of course
Yes.
you can do it. And you can do it.
Yes.
That's it.
Of course you can. Because we are adaptable. And also I find that people in the music business are true survivors, because I don't think anybody gets as much disappointment and said no to as we do.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Look
we learn to ride with that.
Yeah. Look, at this stage in our lives, I think it's different now because, you know, when you're young and impressionable, you work so hard to get a song out or an album out, and the radio doesn't play it.
Yes.
And whatever. So if the radio doesn't play it, nobody hears it. Nobody hears it, nobody buys it. So it is, in the younger years, you can imagine, it's very, very disappointing.
Yes.
But as you go older and we get through it all,
yeah, we don't care anymore.
well, we get hard and bad, you know?
Yes, that's it.
We get hard and bad. But look, music is a very hard business. And it's, you know, unless you're prepared to buckle down and work hard, it's not going to work for everybody, you know? There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts in a lot of things in life, but
Yes,
music
I know.
especially. You know, you can't expect to look, oh, you know what, I'll pick up my guitar 2 weeks from now or whatever. No, you can't. You got to live and eat it early on. You got to live and eat it all the time.
That is exactly what you said. That it's a total commitment.
Yeah.
It really is. What matters to you right now, right here in your life? What is, like, talking about later years, and we get to certain points of our lives that that shit doesn't matter anymore, and that doesn't matter anymore. What matters to you right now?
Family. Family. Totally. It always has. But, you know, I like to think that the family is important to have strong roots. You know, strong roots,
keeps
because
you rooted.
Exactly, because my kids keep me rooted. You know, because even me at my old age, they cut me out for flipping. Like that, shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. Yeah, it is. So yeah, it's very important that. And you know, all I've wished for many years now is health and happiness, and that there are two hard things to have.
Very difficult.
Both of them. But that's all I wish for. And I wish to anybody, to be quite honest with you.
And that's something to attain to. It's something good. And it's not like, hey, man, I want to be a rock star now. It's like, oh, my God, no. Been there, done that. And
you want to be a disaster?
I want to be a real estate agent.
Oh, fuck no. Okay.
Fuck no, I'm just saying. So you guys are just releasing a new single. Obviously, there'll be music following, I'm sure, but also there'll be some touring, there'll be some shows. I think everybody out there will always come to your shows. You've always had good shows, and everybody loves seeing the band because you guys have always kept that standard, that very high standard of performance. We go to a Ballyhoo show and it's going to be slick and it's going to have fun in it, but it's always going to be a good show. So keep doing what you're doing because everybody wants that.
Thank you.
And
we will do.
Good. And the best of luck with your new single. I think it's going to be great. We have to play out with the classic, Man in the Moon. I just want to thank everybody that came on to say hello.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for your comments. We do appreciate them. And of course, my producer, Jules, who handles the show, keeps it all running well. Thank you so much. And Fergie, bless your heart, my darling. And thank you so much. Maybe we'll get to play together soon. Maybe I'll open for you again. I'd love to. Yes, I'll open for you again.
You never know, Cindy.
I love it. I have no
man.
qualms. To me, it's never been about, like, I want to be first and I want 30 doves released on my birthday. I really don't care. It's all about the music, Fergie. Always has been.
All about the music.
Just love it. Say hi to Ads and sending you lots of love. And hopefully we'll chat soon. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. We got some great people coming up.
That's a scarf, by the way. It's not a serviette.
It's a scarf. Okay.
Freezing
well, I also
in
wore
here.
white. I know. I can imagine.
Freezing in here.
I also wore white tonight.
My heart turns my mind into circles as I lie here all alone in my bed. The moon shines brightly through my window, and I wonder if it's true what they say, that there's a man on I have to choose one or two pretty ladies, and my heart can't tell me what to do. You, they're out in space, you seem to be so kind. And your honor, I'm out of my mind. Or am I blind? Man on if there's a man on the moon, can you hear me calling you? Please save me from sharing my love with you. Dear man on the moon, won't you lend me a hand? 'Cause I can't make my mind up today. What would you say? I can't judge a book by its cover, and all that glitters is not gold, so I'm told. Will I retain my love once the beauty's gone? Who will lead me to the heart of the sun? Where to shall I run? Man on the moon. If there's a man on the moon, can you hear me calling you? Please save me from sharing my love with you. Dear man on the moon, won't you lend me a hand? 'Cause I can't make my mind up today. What would you say? When I'm with one, I seem to miss the other. The grass is always greener on the other side. You will be faithful to me now and forever. Although there's plenty of fish in the sea, be wise for me.